Hello YouTube, welcome once again to OVERDUE Media. It's my platform. It's basically for people that want to learn about the MPC and music enthusiasts generally, and just sharing ideas. So please, if you're an artist or you're a producer that also want to check out other people, you can subscribe or just be a part of the family. Anyway, thank you for watching or stopping by. So let's just get into the tutorial. Today I'm going to make a video about how to use sequences, tracks and programs. This is very easy stuff, but if you're starting out, of course it can be very complex. Trust me, 3 years ago when I first picked up my MPC Live, I sold it in 3 weeks because I wasn't patient enough to actually learn the workflow. But now that I figured it out, I felt like I could make some very simple videos to make other people who might be interested in picking this up, to make it easier for them. And trust me, most of the things that's going to happen on standalone mode happens here. So if you understand here, you probably got 80%, and the rest is just building your skills on how to use it. So as far as the sequence is concerned, sequence is just a space and time in any particular song, and they carry two very important information, one being the tempo and the other being the bars or the length. Okay, so if you're creating a particular part of a song, you want to know what tempo that is. Of course, that is here. You can change it to whatever tempo you want, and the length is determined by the bars. You can change it how long or short you want, but for this occasion we're going to use 4 bars. And as far as the programs are concerned, you have the drum group program, the plugin program, the key group program, the clip program, the MIDI program, and the CV program. Okay, but today we are going to probably just preoccupy ourselves with the key group program and the drum program. I don't know if we'll probably use the plugin program. We'll just see. But to make the video very easy, I've chosen my first track to be in chords, but I'm not playing the chords with the plugin program or the key group program. I actually just sliced up a chord sample just to create a base for the instrumental. You can do whatever it is you want, and this is just for the beginning of this track. I wanted to have chords, okay, and the program is a drum program. Don't forget that. Don't forget that. I'll say that again. I can't overemphasize that. The drum program must always be highlighted when you're using any drum programs that you sliced up, or using samples that you sliced up in creating the drum program. Okay, and of course, if you are going to use a plugin program, always also click on that. So let's start. My tempo is 85, and I'm going with 4 bars for a start. So that's my first track. Also, I'm going to go to the next track by just using the jog wheel or pressing the plus sign. Okay, if you press it, you go to the next one, but I already did that, so I'm just going to press the minus to get me back to track 2. And on the track 2, I selected another drum program, but I decided to use the piano on this drum program from the hip hop back to the West kits. It's available on the VOD. It's free for download on the MPC platform. You know how to go about that when you get your first when you get your MPC. So let's see what we get from that. So what I just want to point out is now we have used 2 different tracks using 2 programs, but the same drum program. Okay, no, using drum program, not the same program. Okay, the first track we use the sample. Okay, the first track we use the sample for the chords, and the second tracks now we use the hip hop kits piano. Yeah, so we still have our sequence 1. So let's just label these for the purpose of it. Let's just say the first sequence. Let's just say first. Okay, now what I would like to do is just double it. Okay, sorry, copy it. When I copy it, I'm going to say second, just to make things easy. It's very important that you that you label your tracks or label your sequences. It's very easy to get things messed up, trust me. Okay, so what I want to do next is just add some more elements, and in this case I want to add a drum, and I made a drum selection myself, so I'm going to click to drum, so track 3. Also using a drum program, I'm going to play kick and snare. Okay, so let's see that. So now we have two sequences. Yeah, the first sequence we have just the chords and the piano playing, and the second sequence we now have kick and drums. Can we just take a listen to that just to clarify things? First sequence now just piano and chords. So we go to the next second sequence. So we want to add some more elements. So on this, we'll probably go to track 2, not sequence 2, track 2 of sequence 2, and add some more elements. I'm not feeling that, so I think I'll take this rather. Okay, let me just leave it and undo. I will rather add this. So I'll go to over to the drums and find something to add to it. Let's see if that will pass. So let's just add that just to create more variations, or what we want to do is let's just copy it and create a third sequence. So you see how easy it is to create sequences. So we have a third, maybe a third sequence. Okay, so now we have one first sequence, second sequence, third sequence, and third sequence we want to add some more elements. Okay, so let's add that. Let's engage the note repeat just to So if we quickly go back to just make a quick recap on what we've done with sequence track, first sequence, we sequence the first sequence with just the piano and the chords. Okay, now we go to the second sequence. So we added tambourine. I don't know if that's correct, you can correct me. and we added some kick and snare on the second. Okay, on the third one we decided to add the quick hi-hats to it. Okay, and let's say on the fourth, let's just copy this again. You don't have to be copying everything. You can add every element, okay, to it here. Okay, let's just leave it at 1, 2, 3. That's how that means the first, second, and third sequence. So we'll just add another program just to illustrate. So we'll go to track 4. On our track 4, we have the 808. So we're gonna just add the 808 to the third sequence. Okay, let's see. So let's just use that for the illustration. Now don't forget that you can also double the sequence. For instance, I'm working with 4. Let's just double this to show what we can actually do with the sequences. So now we have a third sequence with 8 bars, okay? So let's just add the 808. So, ladies and gentlemen, we have a sequence that has 808, the drums, the tambourine kits, and the chords, okay? And that is on the third sequence. And on the first sequence, we only have the chords and the kits. On the second sequence, we added kick and drums, kick and snare, okay? So that's just a variation. We can take a listen on how, if they all fit. Let's just quickly make a simple arrangement to illustrate that. What you want to do next, if you're starting out and you don't know, you click on the menu, go to songs, and insert the first, second here, and the third. Okay, we don't need this. And just let's take a listen on how we sequence the first sequence, the second sequence, and the third sequence. So, ladies and gentlemen, that is how you use sequences, tracks, and of course, programs. You can create as much as you want. You can create as long as you want. You can create how fast as you want. Every option is there. It's just a quick illustration on how you can get your tracks going. So thank you for watching. I really appreciate your time. If you enjoyed this video, please don't hesitate to give me a like button, and I'll see what every other person says at the end of their video. You can subscribe to make the family bigger. I would appreciate that. Thanks and peace.